Good morning and welcome to the final fundamentals update from ADS Securities this week. Beginning with the Asian session today, there were a collection of economic figures from Japan which came in with mixed results. Some are good and some are bad, and the dollar yen traded within the tight range, while Nikkei 225 added only 20 points so far. The negative readings came in from Japan household spending, which unexpectedly declined by 2.5% in February, comparing to a rise of 1.1% in January, while it had been anticipated to rise by 0.2%. As for the inflation figures, also Tokyo's core CPI ticked higher to 1%, up from 0.9%, while the national core CPI stabilized at 1.3% as widely expected. Further good news came in also from the jobs sector. Unemployment rate eased back to 3.6% in February, while it had been anticipated to stabilize at 3.7%. And finally, Japan retail sales also increased more than expected in February, rising by 3.6% comparing to 4.4% in January, while it had been anticipated to rise by 3.4% only. As for the European session today, there are a collection of economic figures will be released from Germany, France and the UK. Germany flash CPI is anticipated to rise by 0.4% in March, comparing to 0.5% in February. In France, consumer spending is expected also to rise by 1% in February after a decline of 2.1% in January. However, the net between those 2 months remained minus 1.1% if the figures came in as expected. In the UK, current account deficit may narrow to minus £13.5 billion in February, down from minus £20.7 billion also in January. Finally, UK Q4 final GDP said to be affirmed at 0.7%, unchanged. Going forward to the US session today, few economic figures also will be released, which might show a slight impact ahead of the weekend. Core PCE price index set to rise by 0.1% in February, comparing to the same rise in January. Personal spending also is expected to rise by 0.3% in February, comparing to 0.4% in January. And during the same period, personal income is expected to rise by 0.4% versus 0.3%. Finally, revised University of Michigan is expected to be revised up to 80.6 in March, up from 79.9. This is it for the day and for the week. You can follow us on our social media sites, Twitter, Facebook and YouTube, to get the latest economic releases, reports and analysis. Thank you for watching. Have a good weekend.